welcoming and very positive about the country of Canada, and they wanted to have a very good friendship and relationship with Canada. I think at that time Bangladesh was a very poor country because they had just been through a long war and experienced many difficulties and many miseries. But the people were full of hope that Bangladesh was a new country, and because there had been many rapes and atrocities committed against women by the enemy, there were many babies who were being born, and there was several abortion clinics that were set up for these poor women. And some of the babies were being aborted so late in the pregnancy that they survived and were living. And Mother Theresa had come forward and said she would like to help take those babies who were living and keep them safely. And we wrote to her because we were a private agency in Canada helping parents adopt. And we didn't hear back from her at that time, but we wrote to all of the ministries of adoption in Canada, in the different provinces, and said we were making a trip to Bangladesh to rescue a few of those babies. So we had dossiers of 15 families. My husband and I and one other woman came over, and we were joined later by 2 other people from Canada. We went first to Mother Teresa's home in Dhaka, and the head sister there, Sister Margaret Mary, said, "I've been waiting for you. We have some babies we would like you to take to Canada, but you have to get permission of the newly formed Bangladesh government. If you can get permission, we would like to send these babies to a safe place because they are very fragile. And if they got measles or even a bad cold, they could die very quickly." So the rest of the time, in the morning, with the help of the new High Commissioner in Canada's sister-in-law, we went to visit various ministers to seek permission to bring these babies. The ministers were very positive. In fact, some of them said, "Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't you adopt me and take me to Canada?" So we said, yes, we would like to do that, but now we have to concentrate on the babies. So they tried to help. Finally, at the very last minute, I think it was 2 days before our flight was due to come back to Canada on Air India, we got the permission from the government, and this paper said these 15 babies, and the babies' names were listed, are free to go to Canada to be adopted according to the Bangladesh law about to be promulgated. This simply amazed us because it showed that the government was really very concerned about those babies. They all felt these babies would have no possibility of a good life in Bangladesh, because they would be considered mixed race. They would be considered Pakistani and Bengali, and people would not accept them. To us, they all looked the same, but to the Bangladesh people, they were mixed race. And we were amazed because the government was so concerned that they released these babies for adoption before the adoption law had been made. And this was something which showed us that the new government was truly very humanitarian and very caring about the people here. We had 3 weeks that we could be in Bangladesh, including the travel to Bangladesh and the travel back. And so we had booked seats on Air India, and going over there were 3 of us, adults. Coming back there were 5 adults, plus the 15 babies. So we booked these seats on faith that hopefully the government would release the babies. And the man from Air India kept calling us saying, do you really need those seats back? And we kept saying, yes, yes, save the seats. But we really didn't know until the very last minute, about 2 days before we were to leave. And in that amount of time, from when we received the paper from the government with the red seal, could we really take the babies? Would they be released? My husband had to make passports for each baby. And the passport was simply a piece of paper with a photocopy of that release from the government and their photograph and their name and date of birth. So when we finally, we had to change planes in New Delhi. When we got to New Delhi, which is where they had to go through the immigration to enter Canada, the High Commissioner there for Canada was James George. And he said, can you show the travel documents to my people and they will do the necessary work. When my husband Fred showed these papers, the man in charge of immigration there said, these are not travel documents, because they had never seen a passport written on a piece of paper before. And the reason was that there were no passports. Bangladesh had not had time to prepare passports. So all they had was this little piece of paper with their photograph and a photocopy from the Bangladesh releasing them. So the Canadian person said these are not travel documents, but Mr. George, who is a very extraordinary individual, said, well, Fred, don't worry, I'm sure they will find a way to allow these babies into Canada. So in about 1 hour, they had stamped all the papers that they could come into Canada. Then we got back on the plane for a very long trip to New York, and we had to hire several stewardesses from Air India to help take care of the babies. When some of the passengers on the plane saw all these babies, they were very excited and happy and said, oh, can we hold one? And so people all over the plane were coming forward and saying, can we hold the baby? And we would say, yes, you can hold this baby. Bring him or her back if she's wet and needs to be fed. So my husband said it was like a lending library of babies. People all over this very huge plane were carrying one of these tiny fragile babies. And they were so thrilled to be a part of that journey. Then we got to New York, and we had to change planes there in New York. And the immigration there, at the very last minute, the stewardesses handed out a paper saying that we had to fill them out, everyone, to land in New York and then go forward. So there wasn't time to fill out 15 papers, so my husband put them all down as his baby. So there he was with 15 babies listed on this sheet. And the immigration person said, are these your babies? And he said, well, I'm responsible for them. And they said, well, you have to fill out a new paper for each one. But we had to catch the plane to Canada, and there wasn't time. Finally, the head man came and said, okay, hurry up, go through before I change my mind. So we were very happy to rush through. We got on the plane, and we had told everyone that there should not be publicity because we were worried that maybe Bangladesh wouldn't like to have the publicity that all these babies were coming to Canada. But unknown to us, Mr. Moman, who was the first High Commissioner to Canada, had ordered publicity, all the newspapers and the TV programs. Everyone was there to show these new Canadian, about to be Canadian citizens coming into Canada.